Okay, hey everybody, welcome back. Another Tutorial Tuesday, November 29th, 2022. Past Thanksgiving, heading into Christmas. And today I wanted to just cover a couple of things that I think are real important. If you're looking to, to make a career or at least do a lot of productions for people, it's important to really be organized. So let's talk about that a little bit. I'm in Studio 1.5 right now, and we're listening to a top-lining track that I created, by the way, and you can go to JedDemlowProductions.com to see an entire catalog if you're a country music songwriter, to hear a bunch of these that you can write your own lyrics to. So check that out. Please subscribe to the channel and let me know if you have questions about anything that you see today. All right, let's just jump right into the meat of the session. So I want to show what I do to get things done quickly. And I think that in order to really be good at producing demos and stuff for people, obviously you need talent, and then you need knowledge, and then you need tools. The tools are very important. You got to have great tools, and then you need speed. So I think it's those four things: talent, knowledge, tools, speed. So, and maybe not necessarily in that order, but let me show you one thing that I do. I create a template. So I'm going to do this in Studio 1.5.5, and I'm just going to go right through it from the start. I always have a piano, so I'm going to drag a piano in. And I like this grand piano. This is Easy Keys. It's fantastic. It sounds great. It's super easy to use, hence the name Easy Keys. So I pop that in there, and I've got a great grand piano sound. Okay. Now, one thing I like to do is I like to set up the inspector so that I can see what's going on over here on the left-hand side where I've got my fader. I can add effects and I can do all that stuff. And on a Mac, you can hit this little squiggly line that's next to number 1 up where the numbers are. You can hit that, or you can come up here to View and you can click Inspector. Okay. So you can get it done either way. So now I've got a piano. I like that. The next thing that I definitely need to have are my drums. Most of the productions that I do have drums. So let's drag in Superior Drummer 3. If you don't have Superior Drummer 3, or the new Easy Drummer is really, really good. I guess it's Easy Drummer 3 now, but it's really good. So if you don't want to fork out all the cash for Superior Drummer 3, which is, in my opinion, definitely one of the best that you can possibly get out there, you can definitely make record quality material with Easy Drummer 3. So here's my drums now. It hasn't loaded all the way up yet, but you can see what's going on here. So now I've got my drums. I've got piano. I've got drums. The next thing that I want to have is I want to have bass. Just something to get my ideas down quickly. I like this Easy Bass, also by Tune Track. Superior Drummers by Tune Track too, by the way. So Easy Bass by Tune Track, and this thing is great. I've got the modern bass, and I've got several different basses. There's like a rock bass. There's a classic. I've got the classic rock bass. Let's let it load that up. And then I've got the modern, which I really love for country. And then there's the vintage bass, which is great for like Motown, or if you're doing stuff that's a little bit more old school, it sounds really great for that. So I've got a bass, it's still loading. Okay, so that's my electric bass. Now, those three things right there will really get me going quickly and on my way to getting the rhythm section together for any tune. Another thing that I like to do with Studio One is I like to bring in the Impact XT, and I've got all different kinds of like risers and reverse cymbals and cool crashes and things like that. So I usually have this loaded up too. So let me go ahead and let's pull up the reverse cymbals and sweeps. So that is something, that I probably would use quite a bit. And I have the little controller for it that Presonus makes. I'll have to show a picture of it here. So, and it is really great. It's got 15 pads on it or something, so that I can trigger the stuff with that, and that works really good. Okay, so I've got that. And one other thing that I would probably do, because I use it all the time, let's pull in Stylus. And you don't have to have Stylus to do this. You could use any kind of program you have that has a shaker. I'm at 120 now, so everything sounds kind of fast. Let me put it at 80. Okay. So I got that. And, let's say you've got, let's just do this. I'll show you how to do this real quick. I always start my productions at measure 3. I just like it because the 2 measures ahead of that is long enough if I want to put some kind of a sound effect or a cymbal, reverse cymbal effect, or some kind of a fade in. That generally gives me 6 seconds, usually at most tempos, to get started. So let's go into measure 3. And if I hit Y on my keyboard, it pulls up a little marker, and I can just label that in. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead with this shaker, and I'll show you something I do that will save you time. I'm just going to go ahead and record it. Usually I'll use a click. I forgot to turn my click on. So anyway, that's all I need to do. Let's go here and see how close I was. Boy, I was pretty close without the click. So we can snap it. There we go. Now what I would do is I would drag that out all the way to the end of my timeline. And let's just say it's right here. Okay. Now, if I double click on that, this is already open. What I can do is make this really small, and I can take that and let's make it even smaller. I can take it and I can drag it all the way over to the very end of my song. Now I've already got a shaker happening. Okay. So it's nice to have that. It's nice to be able to have that, for if you want to listen to it while you're, recording or whatever. Nice to have that shaker in there. Since you already have that shaker in there, what you might as well do is highlight it, hit Command B, and print it. Okay. So now I have a shaker. I like to make all of my percussion drum stuff like a light blue. All right, and I'll just move that up here towards the top. Generally, what I'll also do is have my bass above my drums. And the keys usually go down here towards the bottom. Anyway, the shaker can now be part of your template. And you can drop it in. You can mute where you don't want to hear it, or you can just slice it up and cut out the parts that you don't want to hear. But the point is, you've already got a shaker happening very quickly in your session. You don't have to go and find it, drag it in, record it. It's already there. You've already got it. So if you save this as your template, it's going to come up every time. Okay. So I've got drums, bass, shaker, keys, and reverse cymbals and stuff like that. So that right there gets me going quickly. And then if you want to have, maybe some kind of a synth available, I'm just going to drag in this Roland XV5080. So we have that. And then, you can pull up your favorite, if you like the pad, at the beginning of a song, if you use that quite a bit, or you want to have a pad in your choruses, if you use stuff like that often, just have that synth as part of your template right here. Okay, so I've got that. Now, let's go ahead and I'm going to make sure that all of these are colored. Okay, the bass And this is important. Make sure you color everything. The drums are going to be, again, that kind of light blue. The keyboard, let's put that up here and I'll just call this reverse cymbal. Okay, we'll make that light blue. And you can set this up any way that you want to, but this is the way that I have done it. Okay. My bass is always brown. The drums are always blue. Okay. The keys are always green. Guitars are red. Vocals are purple. That way, when I look at it, I immediately know what it is that I'm looking at. Okay. So if I really like this, this setup, I can go here to File, okay, at the top, and I come down and hit Save as Template. Now you can title this anything you want. We'll just call it Jed's Basic Startup. Okay. You can have a description if you want to do that. You can put an icon in there. You can put a picture in there, which is really kind of cool. So maybe, you look at the pictures and you can find stuff that you want quicker. Like if it's a guitar session, you have a picture of a guitar. If it's a drum session, you have a picture of drums or whatever it is that you want to do. But it's kind of cool. Okay, so if I hit OK, now that is there now. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're just going to close right out of this. And I'm just going to say, no, I don't want to change it. I don't want to save the... Okay. So now, if I go to New Song, okay, and I come over to where my templates are, which they'll be right here on the left-hand side, you can see it says Jed Basic Startup. Now, if I click on that, it's going to automatically open up everything that I just did. And it'll come up that way every single time. My shaker is there. That's kind of cool. I could change the tempo to 120. And the shaker moves right with it. So it's very cool. Change it to 100. Anyway, that's an example of the shaker. Just a little thing that can save you time. And again, I use the shaker in a lot of productions, especially in the chorus. Mix it in there with those acoustic guitars strumming in a chorus on a country production. It sounds great. Okay, so you got that now. So that's an important thing, make your templates, take your time with it, do your thing with it, set it up the way that you want it. Whatever your workflow is, take the time to set up maybe 1 or 2, 3 templates. Maybe it's a country template, maybe a pop template, maybe a rock template, maybe a hip-hop template, so that you can pull it up, open it up, and boom, you are in business really quickly. You don't have to go do all that redundant work. Okay, so I hope that gives you some ideas on ways to save yourself some time, when you're doing these productions. Please let me know what questions you have, what thoughts you have. How do you use templates? Let me know, so that we can share that with other people that are using Studio One 5.5, so we can all become better, more efficient producers. All right, well, that's it for me today. Again, I am a country music producer in Nashville, Tennessee. You can find my website at jeddemlowproductions.com. This track you're listening to is one of my top lining tracks. It is for sale. Go check them out, songwriters. It's a great way to kickstart a songwriting session. All right, I hope everyone has a great one, and I will see you next week for another Tutorial Tuesday. Y'all take care.